Hello, and welcome to the second video for our Lightning course on roles and responsibilities for ITAM, for IT Asset Management. Today, we're going to be discussing the application owner role. And this includes understanding how the role works with the IT Asset Management team to execute recommendations and realize some of the benefits coming from trustworthy data. Aside from the day-to-day operations of IT asset management, the application owner role is one of the critical components to ensuring that value is being delivered for the organization. Without this role, the recommended risk mitigation steps couldn't be taken, or optimization opportunities could go unrealized. So you can think of this role as kind of an implementer of some of the recommendations that will be coming from the IT asset management team and the program. So when we say application owner, what we're really referencing is the role that is responsible for maintaining and supporting applications and/or a technology stack for a specific software publisher. Sometimes this could be one person, so for example, an Adobe administrator, or it might be a coordinator of multiple points of multiple contacts for people. So for example, someone who would manage all of the teams in the organization who are responsible for Oracle. The application owner is responsible for accurately understanding and then representing the needs of the business to the IT asset management team, but also to procurement. So if they're responsible for example, maintaining the Adobe estate, they should be able to, as an application owner, communicate that license requirement and the associated forecast and roadmap for the organization. In other words, with this example, would there be more users of Adobe Acrobat Professional required? Is there a big technology project coming up that's going to require more or less licensing? What does that roadmap look like? And needless to say, when we mentioned this before, the stress is on an accurate representation of the business needs. So a thumb in the air, or we'll take last year's figure and add 15%. That's not what supports trustworthy data in the organization. So in these scenarios, if the application owner needs support and needs to get to that granular level of detail, that can be offered from the IT asset management team. So for example, a report could be run from the IT asset management repository, and that could indicate trends on license consumption for the last 3 quarters, right? And then the application owner could then verify and confirm that instead of just, it's about this much. They can use that trend data to confirm and verify and get to that accurate representation of business need. The accurate license consumption forecast, that is key, and it's a key input to the strategic alignment of IT asset management in your organization, as this helps influence some of the recommendations that would go to the executive steering committee. The application owner needs to act on remediation requirements and/or optimization opportunities coming from the IT asset management team. So as a result of putting some analysis around the organization's compliance for a given software publisher, there's essentially 2 main scenarios. First, either that there's a potential risk and that needs to be mitigated, or there's a potential opportunity and that can be realized. So in either one of these cases, the application owner role is the one who is able to execute those necessary steps. So this is a very important distinction. The IT asset management team makes the situation visible. It says, okay, we have a potential risk, potential opportunity, but the IT asset management team, the ITAM team, does not act on it. So for example, if there's an overconsumption of Oracle licenses, it's not the IT asset management team that goes in and deinstalls an instance of Oracle or spins down a virtual server, etc. Those are the actions performed by this role, by the application owner. So if there is an action to be taken by the application owner, it gets tracked as best practice by the ITAM program lead. It also gets monitored by the steering committee, the executive governance of the program. In this way, you ensure that risks are mitigated and that optimization opportunities are realized. So otherwise, the application owner has to answer to that executive sponsorship, the governance layer of the program. Sometimes there could be costs associated with implementing recommendations. So for example, maybe there's an optimization opportunity where you could re-architect a virtual cluster, and that could potentially save some licensing and maintenance costs on Oracle. However, maybe the opportunity, there's a significant savings. Let's say in this example, it would be $300,000 over the next 3 years in maintenance, right? It's a pretty significant savings. However, re-architecting that cluster, let's say in this example, we'd have to bring in a technical consultant team, maybe some service integrators, and that would cost about $20,000 to implement our recommendations. So this is a scenario where the application owner and the IT asset management team would collectively inform and have to come to that governance body, the steering committee. They would need to approve that strategic direction. So the option would be presented, and the steering committee would then vote to mandate that action and say, application owner, yes, it is worthwhile, it is a good return on investment to spend that $20,000 to re-architect that virtual cluster and then realize that cost avoidance opportunity of $300,000 in the near term. So in this way, that visibility to the situation comes from IT asset management, and then that strategic direction and mandate comes from the steering committee and is executed by this role, by the application owner. So this concludes our second video in the Lightning course on ITAM roles and responsibilities. In this video, we cover the application owner and how this role is really focused on execution of the recommendations based on analysis from the ITAM team, and then that strategic approval from the steering committee. In the next video, we're going to cover the procurement and sourcing role. We're going to discuss how that role leverages the trustworthy data coming from the ITAM program in order to negotiate the best possible deal for the organization. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions about this topic or any other ITAM topic in general, please visit our website at anglepoint.com.